It is Monday, the 17th of April, and you are on Smell the Coffee, where we don't just smell the coffee, we like to drink it. You're joined by Ashwin Betty and Diana Master. How's it going, Diana?
It's going well. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. I love that we do this. We're just on Africa Good Morning just now, and we just greeted each other exactly like
this is the first time.
It is. Some of you are seeing us for the first time today, and that's okay.
They're seeing us greet each other for the first time.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was fabulous. It was good. It was restful. I avoided people for the most part.
Okay.
Couldn't manage to avoid people on Saturday. The people in my life are very social.
Okay.
So I found myself socializing with good people, though. So
with
that was
good
fun.
people.
Yeah. And then I went to, I know you like South Korean. So I went to Seoul. The South Korean place.
Soul food.
Soul foods.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made some discoveries.
Yes.
I had concerns about appropriation because I don't like when a nation's foods are made by people not from that nation.
Yeah.
So I researched, and turns out they have a South Korean chef who owns it.
Yes.
And his son also runs it.
Yes.
So I was like, okay. And then I tasted it, and not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
In all honesty, not to throw shade, but I wasn't a fan of the food particularly.
Is this the Windhoek or the Walvispeel?
Windhoek.
Windhoek, yeah.
Because when I was in South Africa, I went to Banchan, which is also a South Korean restaurant, because I was in search of, some good Korean food. So I went to Banchan, and their menu already was like, wow. So in South Korea, right, like from watching K-dramas, jjajangmyeon is the most popular thing, I would say. It's like a black bean noodles.
I'll repeat that, but I don't want to sound racist. But you know what I'm realizing from here? We need to get these girlies air tickets. They are looking for South Korean food in South Africa, in Windhoek, Namibia. The girlies need to go to Pyongyang.
Please support our GoFundMe. But basically, like, just to round up what I was saying, Banchan had amazing food. Like, I was like, oh, wow. So obviously, when I came back and Soul Foods was here, I was like, oh, I'm excited to try it out. And I guess, they say zero expectations, zero disappointments.
Yes. I didn't have standards.
Yeah, exactly. So for you, that
standards.
was fine.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was a thing of, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, they take advantage of the fact that most people don't actually know what Korean food is supposed to taste like. So it's just like, okay, I'm just going to cook. So that was my take on it. Because with Banchan, when I went there and I had the food, I was like, oh, wow, it's amazing. Wow. Like it's giving people who actually can run a restaurant, like people who have experience running a restaurant.
Right.
Whereas with them, I feel like it was just a thing of, oh, hey, let's open a Korean restaurant.
Something we can do.
Something we can do.
So Soul Foods, if you're watching, this is an inspiration. It's not an indictment. Diana
really
says you can do better.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But all I know is after I ate the South Korean food, I knew how to do this, and I knew how to do that. I don't know if that counts.
But you knew that I taught you that before.
Yeah, from K-pop. But I'm just saying, after I ate the food immediately, I was like stay with us as we head into our top stories.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. Tourismus aims at reaching travelers, accommodation, restaurant establishments, agricultural and financial institutions. The show focuses on tourism news, where to travel to fit your budget, 4x4 drives, routes and destinations, and so much more. Tourismus is broadcasted on NTV, 102.com and cross-chat on the following Facebook platforms: the Republikein, Algemene Zeitung, Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. Contact Tourismus at synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bringing the world to Namibia.
Now let's get into some freshly brewed news. The biggest one, of course, this past weekend is Achraf Hakimi. Divorce drama as Morocco footballer Achraf Hakimi's wife discovers he owns nothing. Moroccan international Achraf Hakimi has become a trending topic across the world after his wife discovered he owns nothing despite earning millions of euros with Paris Saint-Germain and the Moroccan national football team. This discovery was made during ongoing divorce proceedings in court after his wife Hiba Abouk filed for divorce and asked for half of all the property and money the footballer owned. To her shock, she discovered that Hakimi, who was 24, had registered all his properties and monies in his mother's name, and whenever he needed anything, he would simply ask his mother to buy it for him him. All his houses, cars, clothes, and jewelry were found to be in the mother's name, and millions in salary were deposited in accounts bearing his mother's name. It was reported that 80% of all that he owns is registered in his mother's name.
Mama's boy.
Mama's boy.
Professional mama's boy.
Professional, I would say so.
It seems to have worked out for him.
I think so, but I find men all over like, oh yeah, he did amazing. That was so good. No.
Shall we get into the specifics? He was accused of rape.
Yes.
And that was the reason the divorce came about, right?
Exactly.
So already that's like a questionable thing. They do have 2 children together.
Yes.
So there's no way he's not going to need to fork out money. But yeah, Mans was smart, hey.
He was very
He
smart.
was
He was very smart.
He was smart. I mean, look, just looking at it from a legal perspective, it was responsible. I mean, at 24, if you're already getting a divorce, that means he's been getting money for at least 4 years. He was a young kid, and it was smart for his mom to do that, in my opinion. But I also think it's weird that the wife just didn't know where the money was coming from.
Honestly, though, because how are we married for 3 years and you don't know that this man's money is going into his mother's
She's
account?
just living the life.
But in all fairness, though, she is worth about 3 million. It's nothing compared to Ashraf's
Oh, yeah, of course.
net worth.
He makes 3 million.
Oh, I mean his mother's net worth.
His mother's net worth, yes.
But if she is worth 3 million, it means she's making her own money. So
Yes.
she's not really too worried about that. But I would say, yes, it was a smart move on his part, but it's giving very much mama's boy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like it's. I think a person needs to be able to sit with their own decisions in life. It seems like his mom makes all the decisions. It is working out because in the long chat of it all, you want to protect the wealth that you have, and you want to protect your generational wealth. But I just feel like the narrative is excluding the fact that this woman isn't leaving him because she stopped loving him.
She's leaving him because he's being accused of rape. That is a serious allegation.
Yeah, and
apparently, sorry to cut you, but there's rumors that he has been bringing women to their marital home.
You see what I'm saying?
And I mean, he was married at 21.
I was saying that if Hakimi's mother was African, and I'm telling you this, listen to me. If Hakimi's mother was African and he had paid Lobola, the sheer shame she would have felt, she would have just given that woman 50% by herself. Because African women will not allow shame to come into their home. No matter how much they love you as their kid, for the most part, there'll be a sense of shame like, I can't believe that my son brought this shame upon us.
I am deeply sorry.
But that's not going to happen, so...
I mean, money is nice.
It is what it is.
Speaking of what also may have been motivated by money, of course, the Dr. Nandipa Magudumana and Thabo Bester case. Now, Dr. Nandipa has said she was being held against her will. The Citizen can reveal that Nandipa Magudumana initially told Tanzanian authorities that she was being held against her will by convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester. Bester faked his own death with Magudumana's help to facilitate an audacious break from a correctional center in May last year. The pair have been on the run since photos of Bester and Magudumana's shopping for free-range chicken in an upmarket Joburg Woolworths surfaced online earlier this year. They were caught in Arusha on Wednesday and were extradited to South Africa on a private jet on Thursday morning. According to a Tanzanian source, Magudumana and Bester gave statements to Tanzanian authorities after their arrest. She was being held against her will by him. That was her response in her initial arrest questions. That's what she said. The source, however, said it is unclear if Magudumana changed her statement after that.
Okay. I have questions. I have many questions. Why? Because it was also reported that during his stay in prison, she would book out an expensive villa for them to spend weekends together. And that's something that they would do. And apparently she would also recruit girls for him because they knew each other from college, that kind of thing.
Oh, no.
So that's allegedly, you know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
I said this last week on Small the Coffee. I'll say it again. Just because a woman is beautiful, she has her life together, it does not mean she can't be a sociopath. You know what I mean? We can say money is the motivation. I think if money was the motivation, she would have been fine with her degree as a doctor, you know, and her successful career. But I think the motivation is something much more nefarious than just material. I think these are souls which battle with a lot of darkness, and they met and they continued to do what they do, which is just a lot of bad acts.
Because also, I can't decipher why she would leave everything. Like, she'll drop everything for him. And like you said, I didn't know about the villa, but I did know that they were booking out expensive hotel rooms.
Yes.
You know, I didn't know also that she was arranging and organizing women for him, allegedly.
Yeah.
But also just the fact that she was also visiting him in prison quite often prior to the escape. So now for her to turn around and say she was being held against her will.
Well, and especially because during the escape, she drove with a Mercedes-Benz across into Zimbabwe, left that car there, and then came back to South Africa. If she was truly under duress, one would assume that after she drives into Zimbabwe, she goes to the Zimbabwean authorities, because she was by herself, and says, guys, there's a murderer, rapist who is after me, I'm being held against my will. But she came back to South Africa. She even went and had a meal at a fancy place. So, you know, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably aiding and abetting Thabo Bester. That's just how that works. And then in the last of our updates, English Premier League action.
Yes.
What a weekend.
Let's talk about that.
What a weekend it was. Manchester City making sure that they edged even closer to Arsenal with a 3-1 win on Saturday. And then Arsenal yesterday failing to put West Ham away. Even after scoring 2 goals, West Ham came back, just as what happened at Anfield last week. And Manchester United, I was concerned about Manchester United. No, I was genuinely concerned. You know I love Rashford. I could do without the rest of you. All of you, your entire
just
history.
Rashford.
I don't care for that, but I love Rashford.
Okay.
And him being injured was very concerning to me. Martinez being injured was certainly a concern to me, just because as much as I enjoy the rivalries in football, I love quality football. And I like everybody having an opportunity to be their best. Of course, if Manchester City has an injury or 2, I wouldn't mind that. Not a permanent injury, just like 14 days, slight sprain. I'm okay with that. But in general, I want to see everybody put their best foot forward. So it was good to see Manchester United. I don't know if Manchester United can sustain it. Of course, you're fighting.
We are fighting. Okay, so I was saying this since last week. The thing is, we're now at a very crucial point. So everyone is playing, especially the top 4. Everyone is playing their
top 4
best.
and bottom 3.
And bottom 3, because bottom 3 are fighting relegation. Top 4 are fighting to stay in top 4.
Oh, yes.
So everyone is putting their best game forward.
Are you comfortable enough to make a prediction for the end of the season, how you feel the top 4 will end?
I'm gonna say Manchester City is gonna win.
Of course,
it's gonna. I mean, if we look at it this way, Arsenal 74 points.
Manchester City 70.
Manchester City 70. Obviously, we have this week's games, but next week the big one being Arsenal and Manchester City.
But Manchester City would have played Bayern Munich prior to that. Anything can happen, as far as those injuries I talked about.
Stop your witchcraft. Stop your witchcraft right now. But I am going to predict, obviously my top 3, I'm going to say Manchester City, number 1, Arsenal, number 2, and Manchester United will finish 3rd. Although I am going to say, like, it's a hotly contested match.
Hotly, yeah. And look, the way I see it is I think Arsenal will win the league with 1 point. I don't think any of it is going to be easy. I don't think we're going to win all our games left. I also don't think Man City will win all their games. They just have a lot of tournaments going around, so I'm kind of banking on that. I don't believe Manchester United will be 3rd. I strongly believe Newcastle will take 3rd. And I think Manchester United will battle with Tottenham into the last 3 games for 4th. And if Manchester United doesn't win, that will make me sad.
No, it won't. This is why I, as Diana, am hoping and praying and fasting and going to do my witchcraft and juju just so that Manchester City can finish first, so that we can come back here on Smell the Coffee and discuss Ashwin and Arsenal.
And you know what I find interesting? Generally in cities, there's rivals. And when those rivals are competing, they don't support each other. You will never find an Arsenal fan supporting Tottenham or West Ham. But Manchester United has fallen so far from glory, even though they have won the league more than anyone else. And they're supposed to be the brand name for Manchester. They have given up their reign so much that they're willing to support Manchester City. Sir Alex Ferguson, somebody give Sir Alex Ferguson some more gum to chew, because this is terrible.
We just need to give Eric 7 Hag, Eric 10
there we go.
A chance.
There's 7 Hag. And Harry Maguire, Captain Fantastic.
Our wonderful captain, my captain.
All right, this is still Smell the Coffee. We'll be back with an interview from the Tourism Expo.
Chill Sessions is an entertainment show bringing the latest hits, fashion, and entertainment news. Chill aims at reaching all entertainers, youth, and artistic fans. Catch Chill on NTV, 1up2.com, the Namibian Sun, Chill, and Namibia Media Holdings platform. Chill focuses on countdown of the latest hits, fashion trends, celebrity interviews, and more. To share your music-related news, products, and services, contact chill at synergy.com.na. Chill Sessions, bringing art and entertainment to the people.
All right, so the Tourism Expo is upon us. It's going to be starting on the 26th of April. And a stand you're going to find, there's the SPCA stand. They're going to be bringing dogs for people to meet and play with, and perhaps you might adopt them. And just coming from me personally, please, 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 if you can, adopt a dog. I love, love, love dogs. And there's so many dogs at SPCA. Sometimes they have about over 100 dogs coming in a month. And, you know, people keep buying new dogs. If you can adopt, please do. Have a look at this interview.
Today on Smell the Coffee, I have the pleasure of chatting with Hannah Rodin from the SPCA here in Windhoek, alongside our furry friend. His name is Benny, and we are so excited. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having us.
Are you fantastic?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, please tell our viewers what exactly SPCA does. What is the work that you guys are busy with?
Yeah, so we are an animal welfare organization.
Yeah.
We run an animal shelter and the dog impound for City of Windhoek. We intervene if there's animal cruelty cases, so involved with the Animal Protection Act of 1962. So we have inspectors that we deploy. Okay. We have volunteer programs, we have adoption programs, we have private pet services, so boarding, microchipping, a few things like that. We also do humane education outreach, so that is going to schools, having schools come to visit the SPCA and learn more about what we do to bring more welfare to the animals in Namibia.
Yeah. All right, since you spoke about bringing more welfare to the animals in Namibia, do you also take care of farm animals?
So our facilities don't really provide for farm animals,
Okay.
but in emergency cases we will. We will do anything that's needed for any animal in need. So that is domestic animals, pet animals, farm animals, horses, donkeys, wildlife. For these bigger species or wild animals, we work with a network of farmers, stables, and wildlife organizations who we liaise with to make sure that each animal coming into our care get the best care that they need.
All right, say now I want to adopt a cat.
Yeah.
How do I go about that? How do I get in touch with the SPCA? You know, what entails the adoption process for any animal?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And adopting an animal is going to be a little bit of a different experience than buying an animal.
Okay.
And there are many reasons for that. We receive so many animals each year. We receive over 4,000 animals each year coming to us for a variety of circumstances. And so we take the adoption process very seriously. First step is to come into the SPCA, meet with the animals, we'll talk to you, we'll do a bit of an adoption interview. So it's very informal and relaxed. We just want to get a sense of what kind of animal would fit in with you and your home.
Okay.
So that's what we then do. We ask those questions and then we help make a good match for you and your family.
Okay. Are there any instances where if I want to adopt, then you guys will be like, no, we can't give you an animal because of these type of reasons?
Unfortunately, yes, sometimes we
Okay.
do decline applications. So once you've come in, we've talked to you, you'll fill out an adoption application. We do a few checks. So we do a house check and a vet check. So for example, if you want a Jack Russell,
Okay. Love Jack Russells, by the way.
but if you have really big gaps in your fence at home, for example, and the Jack Russell can get out, then obviously that's not a safe environment for the dog. So it might not be an outright declined application,
Okay.
but it can be, in order for this to be approved, we need you to strengthen the fence. So sometimes it's just putting kind of like chicken wire or something like that, just at the bottom so the dog cannot get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. Now, how does the SPCA finance the work that you're doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are a nonprofit organization. We're registered as a welfare organization with the Ministry of Health and Social Services.
Okay.
So we have to provide, paperwork for everything that we do and paper trails for all the finances. We're primarily funded through donations, bequests, and wills. We also receive grant funding, so we apply for grants from different institutions each year to help fund what we do, and then really it's donations. So we have some self-reliant sources of income. So, the adoption fees help to pay for the vaccines that we give all the animals. We sterilize all the animals before they go home. Okay. We make sure that they're microchipped, dewormed, and receive tick and flea treatment. Wow. So there's quite a lot that entails taking care of animals, and all of these little fees obviously help to make sure that we can take care of the animals in our care.
And do you have animals up for adoption every day, every hour, or is it seasonal?
No, it's every day, every hour.
Okay.
So we make new animals available weekly.
Okay.
So we have a pretty rigorous system of screening the animals coming in, both for medical and health reasons, and mental, so behavior, we call it, where we look at, is this an animal that is safe to be reintroduced into the society? We unfortunately receive a lot of aggressive animals where owners just cannot take care of these animals anymore.
Yeah.
So then we need to obviously screen them and make sure that we don't put dangerous animals back into the society.
All right. How can we as a people outside of your organization get involved?
Yeah, there are so many different ways of getting involved. We often run through there are kind of 4 core ways of assisting and helping. One is donating funds, donating in-kind goods, so dog food, cat food, blankets, toys for the animals, things that will go directly to the animals. Then you can also volunteer, so volunteer your services and your time. And what we ask for a lot is just socializing the puppies and the kittens to make sure that they become well-adjusted pets going into the society. But we also have volunteers assisting with administrative duties, graphic design, events, social media. So there's quite a variety of things. Just like any other business, there are all these other things that need to be done as well. And our volunteers are hugely helpful in making sure that we can achieve those things. Then also educate your neighbors, your friends, your family members.
Raising awareness.
Exactly, raising awareness, talking about the importance of sterilizing pets, because there's so many unwanted litters of kittens and puppies, and they often end up at the SPCA. So even if it's not this generation of puppies and litters in your home, it might be the next one. So that's why we talk a lot about sterilization. And then lastly, I think it's spreading the word. So
How can we get in touch with the SPCA? Where can we find you? Are you on social media? Where are you located? And so forth and so on.
Yeah, so we're located on 145 Robert Mugabe Avenue, so right across the street from Maroon Mall. Stop by when we're open. More than happy to chat with people that are just interested in learning more. You can also call us on 061-238-654 or send us an email. We're on social media, so both Instagram and Facebook. It's just SPCA Windhoek and do a quick search.
All right, thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and thank you for bringing our furry friend Benny here to our studios. We will be right back with more Smell the Coffee shortly.
Well, that brings us to the end of Smell the Coffee. Sorry, Diana.
I was about to say, all good things must come to an end, but it seems like you're excited to say goodbye.
Yeah,
so you can take it away.
Yeah, no, only because I only get to be here on Mondays and Fridays. You know what I mean? There's a lot of favoritism happening here. So have yourselves a wonderful day. Tomorrow is Zimbabwe's Independence Day. I'm sure the ladies will talk about it, but happy Independence Day to all the Zimbabweans celebrating.
Just to cut, you actually thought you were going to say Zimbabwe's national treasure.
Zimbabwe's national. No, we must commemorate properly tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, because during the speeches, I'll be on the Facebook thing. I'm like, dear Mr. President, you forgot to mention something at the beginning of your speech that Diana Master is our national treasure.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for Smell the Coffee. Of course, Smell the Coffee will be here throughout the week. Do not miss a single show as we build towards the Tourism Expo. And of course, the Carnival is going to be at the Expo the 20th of this month as well. From Diana Master and Ashwin Berry. Cheers.
Adios.